and gentlemen, the following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing team number 1, accompanied by Christy Hemme, Lance Hoyt, and Jimmy Rave, The Rock, and Rave Infection.
It was last week here on Impact when Lance Hoyt and Jimmy Rave, The Rock and Rave Infection, busted out Guitar Hero. Oh, wait a minute. Don't give that microphone to Christy Hemme.
Can you guys hear me up there? I didn't think so. Turn me up, guys. Turn me up. I can't hear me. Check, 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 check. Are you guys ready for the Rock and Rave Infection?
We love you, Cincinnati!
Woo!
Yeah, when the girls out, I want to start to... From Windsor, Ontario, Canada, Maple Leaf Muscle, Petey Williams.
It was back at Feast or Fired when both Petey Williams and Scott Steiner won cases that contained title matches. But after Scott Steiner made the switch, Maple Leaf Muscle ended up with a shot at the TNA World Heavyweight Championship tonight. The two joined forces for the first time as a tag team.
Boy, Petey Williams awfully glad that the cases were switched. He has the world title shot because after Against All Odds, Scott Steiner just found out there might not be an X division.
And his tag team partner from Detroit, Michigan, and a big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner.
From the very moment that Feast or Fired was announced, Scott Steiner had his sights set on winning the case that contained a title shot against the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. But after switching the cases with Petey Williams, Big Papa Pump ended up in possession of the case that granted him an X Division Championship match. But as we just saw in that pre-match interview, the light bulb, I think, may have finally gone off for Scott Steiner. I think he now realizes there's the potential for that X Division title case to be rendered useless. And check out Petey Williams emulating the moves and the poses of Scott Steiner.
Well, you brought it up, Mike, and think about the sell job that Jim Cornette did to Scott Steiner, convincing him how important that X Division title was, about how it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits and superior athletes. Scott Steiner ready to go, now looking forward to that X Division title shot, and now he's just been hit with the fact that after Against All Odds, that X Division could be null and void.
We saw the definition of definition. Maple Leaf Muscle, Petey Williams, almost a smaller version, I think, in his mind, of the genetic freak Scott Steiner, and now trying to match Scott pose for pose. How wise can that be?
I mean, just looking at Scott Steiner's stare that he gives the Maple Leaf Muscle, just looking at it, realizing he's thinking, what on earth can Petey Williams be thinking? But let's face it, Petey Williams in unbelievable shape and going to need to be when he finally gets that world title shot.
We talk about the stress and pressure-packed job description that Jim Cornette has in TNA management. With so many transitions as of late here in TNA, the 2-hour Impact broadcast, the possibility that the X Division could be disbanded pending the result of 3D and Divine versus the Guns and Machismo at Against All Odds. And now when it comes to title matches, the champion will not lose the title belt if he's disqualified in that title bout.
Oh, you can see Petey Williams starting to do the sit-ups, gets out of the way, and he's up in time. Now look at this. Just a complete mockery of Scott Steiner, and he hits it perfectly, and now here come the push-ups. Oh, look at Steiner looking at him.
That's me, man.
He just said, "That's me, man." We talked earlier about how Crystal had mentioned that these two were on the same page, but I'm not sure that Scott Steiner appreciates Petey Williams doing his pose downs. Check out Petey headed to the top, gonna go snap out the Hurricane Rana, and does on Big Lance Hoyt.
I mean, Petey Williams is on fire. He must be channeling Scott Steiner right now because he's like two people in one as he's taking Jimmy Rave and Lance Hoyt and everything he does. And now look at there, another move that Scott Steiner does so well. And you can see, though, Lance Hoyt able to get the big boot to the back of the head. That time time it cost Petey Williams as he was showing off to Scott Steiner.
Possibility that the X Division will be abolished at against all odds. Want to remind you that tickets are on sale now for the TNA debut in Greenville, South Carolina on Sunday, February the 10th. All the details on how you can be a part of the live crowd in Greensville. Go to our website, TNAWrestling.com.
Well, you can see the momentum's turned all the way around now, and it's in the hands of the Rock and Rave infection. Later on tonight, Mike, I can't help but look forward to the main event as Tomko and Kurt Angle are going to go one-on-one, and you think about everything going on. AJ Styles, Christian Cage, that whole, the dynamics of all of those, and to see those two after last week in the ring, can hardly wait till later on tonight.
In addition to that, the Samoa Joe contract signing. Awesome Kong speaks for the first time. Her first interview here on Impact. And Don, last week we thank all the TNA fans for setting that record rating on Impact. And we thank you again because last Thursday night we equaled that number. Thank you, TNA fans, for your support as Petey Williams, Maple Leaf Muscle, just snapped off that spinning neck breaker.
I'll tell you what, he's got to get a tag into Big Papa Pump right now. He's been out of that ring from the very beginning of this matchup, and it had turned on him. And here he gets the tag, and now here comes Big Papa Pump. Oh, look at him duck the clothesline, and he's got one for Lance Hoyt himself.
Catches Rave in the midsection with the boot. Shoots him off into the ropes and then, high up into the lights with the back body drop. Now Lance Hoyt sent for the ride. Big Papa Pump levels him with the clothesline.
Another clothesline, and now he shows Petey Williams how it's done as he kisses the muscle before he lands the elbow. And here come the push-ups.
The patented push-ups from Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, who gets to his feet. Meet Jimmy Rave in the corner. Gonna go for the belly-to-belly, and does he connect?
Takes Jimmy Rave all the way across the ring, and now he's got one for Lance Hoyt as he sends him right over the top. And you can see now, looking at him, he's showing it to Petey, and he says, now, that's how you do it. Finish it.
Tag in. Petey Williams, Maple Leaf Muscle is legal. Outside in with the shoulder block. Then the double knees to the chest of Lance Hoyt. Jimmy Rave and Petey Williams meet up in mid-ring. Look at Petey. Springs right off of Lance Hoyt's chest. Could it be the Canadian Destroyer?
Well, he's looking. Oh, wait a minute. Scott Steiner has both cases in his hands. He's got Petey's case and his case with both title shots. And you can see Petey Williams just, he just cracked him with the steel case right on the head of Petey Williams.
Well, they weren't on the same page. Obviously, Scott Steiner not happy with his first-time tag team partner, Petey Williams. And Petey just felt the brunt of that steel case crack right over his head.
Scott Steiner now owns both cases, and Petey Williams doesn't even know where he is. Jimmy Rave takes him up, spins him down on his back, and now rolls him over. 1, 2, done.
Here are your winners, The Rock and Rave.
Now, even in defeat, what an interesting dynamic between Maple Leaf Muscle, Petey Williams, and Scott Steiner. While we're still a few days away from the Patriots and the Giants, but Rock and Rave, they're acting like they just stole the halftime show from Tom Petty.